It is Friday, November 1st. Happy November. Today, I'm just wondering if the Dallas Cowboys, as presently constituted, are even as good as the Atlanta Falcons.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
Mary and I are Crest Cadillac people. For what, about 15 years now?
That's about right. Crest Cadillac XT4. Perfect size, perfect ride for us.
Crest Cadillac at 121 on the Tollway in Frisco now has terrific offers on the Cadillac Lyrique and the soon-to-be-available all-electric Escalade. GM Mike Brusen's team is fantastic to work with. So join Mary and me as
Crest Cadillac people.
That question we posed in the tease, are the Cowboys even as good as the Atlanta Falcons? When the year began, that would have been an unthinkable question. But here we are. Dallas is 3-4, and Atlanta's 5-3. Why don't we take a look? It's pretty well into the season now, so the numbers are getting to mean something. Why don't we take a look at the numbers to see a comparison between the Cowboys and Atlanta? In running the ball, Dallas is the worst team in the league, number 32. They get 3.4 yards a carry. Atlanta's number 10, getting 4.7 yards a carry. And need I tell you, the last two teams that beat Dallas, Detroit and San Francisco, ran the ball like crazy, and they're each in the top 10 in running. How about stopping the run? Well, Dallas is 27th at that, and Atlanta's 13th. In passing offense, hey, Dallas wins this one. They're number 3 in the league in passing offense. But that'll happen when you're slinging it around a lot, when you're well behind in games. Atlanta, they're number 6 in the league, barely 5 yards a game behind the Cowboys. In passing defense, Dallas is number 20 and Atlanta's number 18. In total offense, Dallas is number 15. Atlanta is number 7. Total defense, Dallas is number 26. Atlanta's number 18. And in quarterback rankings, that's for Dallas primarily, in fact it is, Dak Prescott. The Cowboys are number 23 in the league. And Atlanta is number 13. So how did we get to this point where the Cowboys are looking up at the Atlanta Falcons? Well, injuries are certainly a part of it. And, well, the schedule early on has been pretty tough with Baltimore, Detroit, and San Francisco. But, hey, this defense can't stop the run. It can't pressure the quarterback. It can't sack the quarterback. It can't take the ball away. The offense can't run. And the turnover ratio, Dallas for the season is a -8. 8 more turnovers than takeaways. Dallas is thus better than 2 teams in the league, Las Vegas and Tennessee, and they've combined to win 3 games. When the season began, Atlanta was groping for some way to stop a downward trend. Remember, it's not too long ago that Atlanta, coached by Dan Quinn, was in the Super Bowl, should have won the Super Bowl, but collapsed in the last 15, 20 minutes against New England. Last season, Atlanta was 7-10. And the year before, Atlanta was 7-10. And the year before that, Atlanta was 7-10. Hey, this team is consistent. In fact, in the last 6 years, Atlanta has won exactly 7 games 5 times in those 6 years. That's 6 straight losing seasons. And that hasn't happened to Atlanta since the late 80s. So they brought in a new coach, Raheem Morris, who'd been here briefly years ago. And they signed Kirk Cousins for about $45 million a year. Now, Dallas fans, they thought they had the better quarterback, Dak, than Cousins. And basically, a lot of people mocked Atlanta for giving Cousins that much money because, well, he'd never done very well in the playoffs, and, well, he didn't seem to be able to carry his team when they needed it. I believe I've heard that somewhere about a quarterback before, perhaps in this city. And the Cowboys gave Dak Prescott $15 million more a year than Atlanta gave Cousins. Now, the Cowboys may have something to say about the fact that they have had to play that tough schedule. But look at Atlanta. In their first 8 games, their opponents have included Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Seattle, and Tampa Bay twice. Atlanta's got good skill position people. Running back Bijan Robinson, tight end Kyle Pitts, and wide receiver Drake London are good. They're good. Now, this team understands that it's a club where the offense probably has to carry it week in and week out. And they've been doing that. Atlanta has scored at least 30 points 4 straight games. With Dallas' problems on defense and the problem the Cowboys have running it, that means they'll be slinging it around. So this game has the look of a shootout, which for Dallas recently has meant they're the ones getting shot. Next, the baseball I'm watching today is not the baseball I watched as a youth, or even the baseball I announced in my middle ages.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney.
Well, the World Series is over. Los Angeles has won it in 5 games. Freddie Freeman was a hero game after game after game. And Yankee star Aaron Judge again had a dreadful postseason. But another way to look at this Yankee loss was that their late inning pitching, and by late inning I mean from even like the 6th inning on, their late inning pitching was a mess. They couldn't hold leads. I don't know about you, but baseball's getting harder and harder for me to watch. Even these teams that made the World Series, They don't have 4 healthy pitchers to run out in a rotation, if you will. We get bullpen games. That's when one guy starts and pitches an inning, and then he gets relieved, and then that guy gets relieved, and another reliever comes in, and another, and the team sometimes uses 6 or 7 pitchers to try to get through 9 innings. And even when their starting pitchers go 5 innings, sometimes even 4 decent innings, the team seems thrilled by this. Baseball is having a problem. It's having difficulty more and more keeping its pitchers healthy. They make all sorts of changes to the rules, and this problem seems to simply be getting worse. Now, in baseball, we got dozens and dozens and dozens of guys who can throw 100 miles an hour, but most of them, before the season's over, they can't drink coffee with their pitching arm because it aches so much. I remember Nolan Ryan. He threw 100 miles an hour. We were in awe of it. And we were in awe of Randy Johnson. But they were such outliers. Seaver threw 100 miles an hour? No. Greg Maddux? You've got to be kidding me. Jack Morris, Jim Palmer, Tom Glavine, I could go on and on and on and on. When a pitch was thrown at 100 miles an hour, everybody went, woo! Now, sometimes we'll get 6 or 7 pitches thrown at 100 miles an hour in one half of an inning. But baseball is now in love with miles per hour and spin counts. But they can't keep the pitchers healthy who throw 100 miles an hour or throw with high spin counts. And now in baseball, if after 9 innings the game is still tied, we go to extra innings, and we start each inning in extra innings as long as the game continues to be tied, with teams beginning their at-bat with a free runner at second base, a so-called ghost runner. What did that person do to get there? Nothing. Baseball just put him there. They want to shorten their games, and they want to lessen the wear and tear on their pitchers. How's that working out for you, baseball? Ghost runners. All the new emphasis on miles per hour and spin counts and so many other things about the game these days. It's simply not baseball anymore. Maybe baseball should just do this. Forget about pitchers entirely. Just put the ball on a tee at home plate and let's play 9 innings of T-ball. Wait a minute. That would take too long. Let's play 5 innings of T-ball. We wouldn't even need a home plate umpire then. In fact, we wouldn't need umpires on the bases. If it was a close play, we'd just stop and automatically go to instant replay every play to determine if the runner was out or safe. Hey, why don't you just do that, baseball? But please, if you would, stop calling it baseball.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. By Star Power. Love where you live. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.